Hello there everyone, it's King Sloth back with another video. Today, it's a long awaited return to reaction videos, and today, as you can tell by the title, I'll be going over the US Army Boot Camp, which is 22 weeks of training before they go off to their individualised, whatever job role they wanted to do, their version of Phase 2 training. But we're going to go through the first 22 weeks. I believe this documentary only gives like little sneak peeks of certain bits of the training, because obviously they can't follow around the whole thing. This is just a short video explaining what's going on. But let's jump straight into it. Before I start the actual video, as you can tell by down there, we're on 498 subs at the time of this video. So shout out to Lucas Zurek, who's subscribed. Absolute G. Thank you so much. We're on the road to 500 subs by New Year's. So let's get it. Let's work to it. Let's go aim for 1,000 subs by next year. If you watch my most recent video, the goals for 2022, you'll see that's what I want to hit. So let's get into the video.
Why are you moving? Why are you moving? Huh? Huh? Huh?
This
is
Army Boot Camp.
Straight away, that dude is like every single person in Phase 1 when they first rock up, their first like beasting session. They're like, what have I signed up for? What am I doing here? Oh my god. Everyone does it.
Before they join the United States Army, all recruits have to graduate from
Bit of close quarters
program known as One Station Unit Training, also known as OSIT.
So one station's 22 weeks. The British Army do 14 weeks.
A 182,000-acre military
I've been there, Fort Benning.
Straddles the Alabama-Georgia border about 100 miles southwest.
Very nice place.
Every year, more than 18,000.
Nice little tracksuits. Everyone gets tracksuits, same as the British Army.
470,000.
Okay, if you look at this, I'm going to explain why they've got numbers on the helmets, because I've had a couple of people message me asking how do the instructors know who's who. They can't just learn everyone's name if they've got so many different courses. So what they have there is numbers on the helmets. This means that when they start there, so like this is a PT session, we're in physical, like a battle PT session. What they'll do is write down the course number at the top of the piece of paper, and then if anyone messes up, number what they did wrong. Anyone does really well, number what they did right. It saves them trying to learn the names, especially like if they're jumping over like going over some like combat scenarios where they've got to do like a, what's it called, like an assault course. If they can't see the face or don't know them yet properly, they've got the number to go back on. So it makes it easy for the instructors.
People actively serving in the Army.
13, 14, 15.
Although most of the recruits that we saw during our time there were male, recruits trained together in gender-integrated platoons.
I agree with that. I think that should happen.
They show up to us as civilians, and then we take them through a transformative process to turn them into soldiers.
Too right. Too right.
And you stay in position of tension.
On a rain-soaked week in February, we spent.
If it's not raining, it ain't training, boy.
Maneuver Center of Excellence, which trains soldiers
So
to serve in the infantry.
we do a range week in Phase 1. You obviously do more time than that, but you have a designated week for just being at the range. Close quarters, very good. The Army don't really do that as of much during training.
New infantry recruits on a bus from the Atlanta airport arrive at the 30th AG Battalion headquarters, where all new recruits are received.
Listen up. You ain't got what to hear from you at this point.
Oh, wow. Okay, first things first there. If you rock up to the British Army Phase 1 wearing tracksuits, at least he did on the left here, the lad in the pink, he's made a bit of an effort. He's got a somewhat shirt on, but some people have rocked up in trackers, shorts, tracksuits, looking rough. I don't know why you'd even risk it. We always rocked up with a suit, everything we did.
Sergeant, you understand? Yes, Sergeant. And I'm telling you, you will pass your boulders to the front.
The minimum age to enlist in the Army is 17, and the maximum age is 35.
The UK have boy soldiers, don't they? Boy and girl soldiers.
Private is about $20,000 a year.
$20,000. We have 19,000 a year, I believe.
The first order of business is establishing the code of conduct.
Jesus, look at them.
If
If you don't pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, you're gonna make your Army career very short. You treat everybody with dignity and respect, regardless of race, religion, color, national origin, gender, sexual orientation.
Those there, what you just named then, are known as the protected pillars. In the British Army, they're known as protected pillars.
Any unwanted physical contact in a sexual nature. So if you put your hands on another individual and you're not instructed to, or you're not saving their life, and they file a sexual assault, and it comes down that you put your hands on this individual when you weren't supposed to, that is going to be on you.
We had something similar to that. We have the fraternisation clause, I think it's called, where you can't fraternise with the opposite sex during your training because it just messes you up. Like, it can fuck up so many things. I remember my corporal literally got us all into our section all together, got us all into the block room, and said, like, okay, lads, fucking sit down. I was like, oh, God, here we go. What have we done wrong? Is there, like, there's a block next to us of girls. At the minute, you will think they look rats. Wait 10 weeks and they will look like angels, porn stars, whatever you want to call them. They are not angels or porn stars. They are still rats. They are still lizards. Do not get caught messaging them, speaking to them at all. Don't talk, don't build any relationship with them. You're here to train, do your 14 weeks and get out. We did actually have one lad, I'm not going to give his name, but he did eventually he got kicked out because he was trying to chat up two of the lasses. Like, he was sending them Snapchats of him, like half naked, saying, oh, I fancy meeting up later. It's like, you creepy boy, creepy man.
You will get kicked out of the military, and then you'll probably have to file as a registered sex offender. Do you understand?
Before they go inside, the new recruits learn some basic commands and standing positions.
Hut training time! Everyone look down at their toes. You should be able to fit a slice of pizza in between your toes. If you look around, they're gonna see you, cause you're taller than anyone else!
That was my problem. Tallest in my section. I can see you looking around.
Grab one and go, it's all the same!
The recruits grab the snack that's waiting for them inside, consisting of a fruit cup, sunflower seeds, a granola bar, and a juice box.
Watch the video, remain subtle.
Since 1775, the Army has been the bearer of our nation's strength in every crisis or conflict. Make no mistake about it, the journey you are embarking
There is something similar in the British Army where you go through like the history when you first get there before you actually sign up.
Your last 4 years social.
After being welcomed, recruits begin what's known as processing, which can take 1 to 2 weeks before their
Ooh.
actual training
Okay.
begins.
That is very similar to the British Army. However, it doesn't normally take 2 weeks. You'll do the first week, which is like death by PowerPoint. Sign this form, put your name here, put your details here, sign this form, do that, another PowerPoint, another. It was a nightmare. It was boring. The main task of that week is just staying awake. However, so obviously, if there's more situations going on where you need more admin work done, they'll randomly pick you up. They'll be like, "Okay, mate, you're missing a little bit of today to go to an appointment, and you got to speak to the clerk and go through some paperwork," which it can happen quite easily. Tells me I was going through a divorce at the time, and during my phase on training, and that meant like I had like little random appointments where I had to go to them and speak to them, explain what the situation was, any evidence. I'm like, I'm in phase 1, no letters getting sent to me here. They're all sent to my home address so they can sort it out because I need to focus on my training. But it does happen. So like your 14-week phase 1 is really 13 weeks, I guess. And same as these, the 22-week training for their phase 1 really could be 21 or 20 weeks.
We'll give you a period to go in a room by yourself.
First, they're given one last chance to discreetly dispose of prohibited contraband like drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and inappropriate
In a way,
photographs.
the most training establishments are turning towards this now, where there is no smoking on site.
Recruits get rid of contraband in an amnesty room, where
Get
they dispose of it by
cigarettes,
throwing it down
vapes,
the
any
chute.
pornography.
confused on what you can and cannot have.
Because I don't think you're allowed a phone as well in a US Army boot camp. You're not allowed your mobile. Yes.
Where one barber has worked at Fort Benning for almost 60 years.
I've been here ever since 1963. That's a long time. I should have been retired a long time ago.
Yes.
But I wake up in the morning now. I be wanting to come out here and go to work.
It's not exactly the hardest job. It's one cut.
Recruits are issued uniforms.
Yeah, I remember that.
Receive a series of immunizations.
I remember that very well. The vaccines I remember in my phase 1, which was a Winchester. And I remember literally, it was a long corridor, and you got there when you first got there, and it was like, here is your sheet. These are what you need. Here's the door number. Go along the corridor. Stop at each door that has a number on it. I was like, oh, God, okay. I think I need like 8 different vaccines, different immunisations, blood tests, everything I needed doing. And I don't like needles. Let's just get that out there. I hate needles with a passion. I don't know why. Once I've got it done, I'm like, okay, sound. But as long as if I don't look at them, I'm okay. This was, you were walking down a corridor. They were literally, you were walking down literally almost like a path of people like stabbing you. It was so weird. And we had people that were afraid the needles were like trying to like not go to the next door. They were like, the corporals at the end of the corridor. You've got to get out. This is the way you've got to get out. And they would check your paper. Each door checks and be like, yeah, come in here, and you get injected. But you just get it done. Once that's over, you can start your properly training. That's the end of your proper medical during phase 1 training.
And get their official photo taken.
Photos done.
Along with myriad housekeeping details.
Our photos were taken, for me, were taken literally right after a swimming lesson and a day of beasting, so my picture looks horrendous.
That is, until processing ends. And the time for training finally arrives.
Let's go. Grab your bags and go.
We found a company of recruits about to begin training in the armor school.
Hills are bridle.
These recruits are about to be picked up and taken to their barracks, where they'll reside for the rest of their training.
The white bus.
Let's go. You guys are going to the front bus. Go.
This is the last chance
I think, top of the microwave. Wife's giving the manner. You know, casually.
for recruits to change their minds before training begins, like one recruit who decided to stay behind.
We had 2 lads leave training. Mercy
This
Buki.
short bus ride from processing to their new barracks will be the most peaceful
Manor.
moment
Daddy duties.
recruits will experience for a while.
You get on that coach,
Happens next
you
is
sleep.
known
Sleep as soon as you can. Look,
attack.
even his like, oh my god.
Run! Run! At no time will you walk! You will run! Everyone you freaking go! Go! Run! Run! Did they say what? Get your bags up right now! Get your bags up! This way! Let's go! You're a tough guy! Don't move! Do something! Do something! That's what I thought! Why are you...
See, the British don't really do that. As bad as it sounds, well, it makes sense not to do that because actually you're already going to get... I think, in my mind, you don't get respect that way. They're like, I will teach you, like, I'm going to be the boss here. They already know that they're the boss. I don't get the whole point, the whole screaming. I get it's like, oh, we're going to show you this is going to be hard for you. You're going to break you down. But you're going to be broken anyway. You're away from family. You're going to learn things that you've never learned before. I don't get the point of Shark Week. Just screaming, look.
Well, it's really just a little shock to the system so we can break them down to build them back up.
Breaking down, build about.
We're breaking a lot of habits from the civilian world, and nothing better than a little shock to the system to
I think it's more
establish that
okay.
the drill sergeant is in charge to let us start our training.
Okay, so also you're going to notice who's going to gob off back. You need to be wary of them,
Above their
I
heads,
think.
which takes a physical toll.
Why is that so difficult? You can't pick that back up. You decided to join the army and you can't pick that back up. Right side bag, right side.
Back again, he's hating his love. Look at him, he's like,
After about 20
oh my
minutes,
god.
the intensity begins to subside. And the drill sergeant's tone changes.
See, this is all you need. You don't need that screaming. I don't understand.
Training officially
Why?
begins.
Why'd you have the screaming? You could actually walk in and be like, everyone get in line. Carry on, carry on, carry on.
Awe of the shark attack, things do appear to calm down.
They do.
It's a movie.
We found
I
this
was
group
born to
of
be a
infantry
star.
soldiers in week 11 of their
Very
training,
American.
practicing on the firing range. The mood was much more relaxed.
Try to get 8 up on my lower.
And their conversations with their drill sergeants are conducted at normal volumes. Like when this drill sergeant educated the recruits on the meaning of the military expression 8 up.
Is a piece of 8 up gum good? You don't want something that's 8 up, right? You want something fresh. You break the seal.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
That dynamic changes because we want the soldiers to become more critical thinkers.
Okay. That is very similar to the British Army. I think potentially, obviously, didn't do RAF phase one, but it probably will be similar to near enough all forces across the UK. Eventually, it hits a certain point, then suddenly it's just chill. It makes no sense. Like you go from being screamed at to, all right, I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna talk to them like the people rather than like below me sort of thing. In my head, that's what it was like. It was like one day they were screaming, and then the next day, they wasn't. It was so confusing. I remember my corporal came and was like, "All right, lads, how's it all going? How'd you enjoy the exercise?" I think it was halfway. It was because you had your weekend off and you did the halfway exercise. You came back, and literally they were just chilled. They're like, "Right, lads, we're gonna start obviously preparing for the last exercise. We're gonna start getting your twos ready for your pass off parade. So I'm gonna come in here, as many nights as you want. We can have a chat, talk about what you like, needing help with anything. We'll talk. We'll go through it. We'll do shoes together. So you ball your shoes. So these are like my old pair, well, my backup pair, and they're awful. They're not shiny at all. When you ball them to make them like glass, and literally it takes hours and hours and hours to get them the way you want them. But we're having someone there, like, go through their history, like, how was your phase one, phase two, what have you been up to, like, how did you get into the phase one training? It's just good. It's proper chilled out, and I think it makes you respect your training team more.
At that point, we are turning into more coaches and mentors. We dial it back a little bit, so we don't want them frightened. We want them to be comfortable and in a state of mind that is receptive to learning and performing at that level.
Up to 241 hours of infantry OSIT are devoted to marksmanship, where recruits
Gotta be able to
fire
shoot.
about 2,500 rounds using the M4 carbine, as well as the M249 squad automatic weapon.
Okay.
SAW.
So the British Army phase one, you will learn how to use the SA-80, and that's about it. You don't really learn anything else. That's when you get to either your phase two or your working unit. Oh yes!
One of the most painful parts of training out of the way early.
I like to call this the best and worst times of phase one training. It's the worst, obviously, because you're getting CS gassed. But the best one, because it's funny. If you go through first, it's sound. It's sound. Because the numbers on the back of the helmets, obviously they can't tell the face because they've got a gas mask on. He didn't say, though, what happened during them 5 minutes. They spent 5 minutes there, so like they'll be lighting the little tablets. They're only small. They literally look like a paracetamol tablet, and literally they light it and the smoke comes out, which is obviously tear gas. But like say like when we went through it, it was obviously it's different to certain places. I spoke to people in the RAF and they're like, no, we didn't do that. We literally took it off, took a breath, struggled a bit, and got out. In the army, I remember I did it. It was your name, your service number, what you were joining as, and where you were going to do your phase two. Obviously, that's showing you've actually done a bit of research into your training. And then they went, oh, okay, you're not struggling. Do 5 press-ups and you can get out. And then when you can't breathe, if you get affected what you cannot breathe, you're literally choking out. You just want to get out of the building. You're literally banging at the door to get out. And then the corporal will let you out, eventually. Flap the arms. Dribble. Yes.
Flap their arms like birds to remove excess gas from their uniforms. According to a drill sergeant, the effects of the gas begin to wear off after about 4 minutes.
That is true.
Some training moves indoors, like combatives, where recruits learn hand-to-hand self-defense.
We did a little bit of this. A little bit.
Achieve a dominant body position. So get out of one negative position and then switch roles so they end up having the upper hand in a fight.
We did focus more on being able to kill at range rather than, okay, if they're in hand-to-hand combat, something's gone wrong.
Exercise, referred to as the EO, while laying on their backs. They have to engage
That
their
works
core,
everything.
wiggle
It's
across the
horrible. I
entire
did that in judo when I trained during phase 2. Horrible.
Their core to help them create space, warm up the body.
Everything burns.
Recruits work up a major appetite during training. But Fort Benning
My guy's
is
eating
big,
pizza.
and they're not always within range of the dining facility. When they're training in the field, recruits are issued MREs, which stands for Meal
Yes.
Ready to Eat.
You can eat it cold.
Comes with an entree, like this vegetarian pasta with taco sauce, along with an assortment of items like.
So, if you're in like the military and you're watching this, or you're in the cadets and watching this, what is your favourite ration pack meal? Like literally, my one's probably the most blandest one ever. I literally like sausage and beans. That ration pack like saved me on exercise. No one wanted it, and I didn't. I was like, yeah, I'll have that. Devoured it every single like meal. I have a sausage and beans, and then for dessert, I like the plum pudding. It's so good. People are like, I've got cherry turnover. I've got a chocolate brownie. I've got a mango cake. I'm there like, well, I got plum pudding, and it's banging. So good.
Mixed fruit, an energy bar, and this instant French vanilla cappuccino.
They're actually alright.
Just add
They're
water,
alright, they are.
shake it up, and enjoy. Once they're fortified, recruits return to their training.
Bit of CQB.
Spend up to 60 hours in training known as MOUT, which stands for Military Operations in Urban Terrain.
Go left, go left. One man called door left.
Infantrymen are expected to fight in different types of terrain and survive and win the fight. Right now, they are getting their first taste of what that's like in an urban environment.
Rolling T. All right, coming up.
In operations across Afghanistan, Iraq, we are conducting clearance operations, and it's applicable wherever we go.
Yeah, get that.
It's important for the future soldiers' muscle memory because they are working as a team with minimal communication, and they have to understand how that coordination works together.
Do it again.
Do it again, yeah. Not happy enough, we'll go again.
After
Till we hit
22
the
weeks of
perfect.
training, these infantrymen are ready to leave Fort Benning. Friends and family gather to watch their soldiers graduate on NOA field.
This might sound weird, but this is one of the, like, just that clip there. That's probably one of your best days in the military. It might not mean a lot to some people, but like after 14 weeks, say phase 1 of the army, you haven't really seen your family at all, and you went there as most of the time like a gobby little kid, didn't know anything about it. You went there and then you march in front of your family, do a little parade.
They look like soldiers.
You see your
They act
family
like soldiers.
smiling. It
Carrying
makes
their head high.
that all worth it.
I have trainees that were not alive when 9/11 happened.
I was
pretty
alive.
powerful,
I was alive
but
during
I
that.
still can find American citizens that want to volunteer to serve their country when we continue to ask them to go to combat.
I like that. Look, meet your family.
These new infantry
Hugs, haven't seen him in a while.
long to greet their loved ones.
What?
Get on the bus!
Or say goodbye to
You've
their
you've
friends.
just finished. That means you're done for a little bit.
Leaving Fort Benning to begin their service in the United States Army.
So you go straight away. What? Bro. What? You go straight away. No, like a little bit of a gap like we do in the army. I literally had like 4 or 5 days. And in the 4 or 5 days, I got married. Yeah, that's what happened. But yeah, I thought they'd have a little bit of time. Then go off to obviously their version of phase 2, but I think that they might get deployed straight away. Straight into their working unit, wherever they got posted to, or deployed to, whatever they want to call it. But yeah, I hope you have all enjoyed today's reaction video. I'm sorry it went on for a bit long. Once again, it's a long video. You got to react to all of it. But it has been King Sloth. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Comment what you want me to react to next. I've had a look at a couple of different things, a couple of different services. I'm liking the look of the Norwegians. I'm not going to lie. They look insane training in the Arctic. But it has been King Sloth. I hope you've all had an amazing day. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.